please engage with the content, like, share, subscribe, chat, comment. It's Burn It Down with Kim Brown. And one of the systems of oppression that we know we need to burn down is the police state here in the United States. And somehow these specific instances of police barbarism usually are targeted towards one group, or rather, targeted towards other groups, not white folks, right? And black folks, and of course our indigenous brothers and sisters, who are also overrepresented when it comes to murders by police and in custody police deaths. Tragically, we have experienced another one of those in April. A 53-year-old man by the name of Frank Tyson, was involved in what some say was a motor vehicle accident. He was involved in some sort of crash where in Canton, Ohio, where this incident happened, he's alleged to have struck a utility pole to the extent that the pole came down in the street. After exiting his vehicle, he walked into the VFW or the AMVETS, some sort of establishment bar. And from there, police were called. And guys, I know what my policy is regarding these videos. And I really wrestled with this one because a couple of them I have not shown. The tragic incident that happened with the gentleman, the young man there in Chicago's Humboldt Park, where he was shot at 96 times. I did not show that one. But Mr. Tyson was not shot by police. He was literally in some way suffocated. And the Canton Police Department released the body cam footage. And it's several minutes long. However, there is a clip that I think there's value in this clip, right? Because to me, it shows a couple of things. It shows the contrast racially between not only the police, Canton police, and Frank Tyson, but it shows the racial makeup of the establishment in which Mr. Tyson was in. Okay. Now, we know there's buku black folks in Ohio, Columbus, Cincinnati, Cleveland is definitely in the house, right? However, in other places of Ohio, Ohio is very racist. Let me just cut to the chase of it. Ohio is very racist. And when we go to this clip, you're going to see a couple of things and you're going to hear a couple of things. You're going to hear a woman off camera say, "Come and get him." Okay. And as soon as the police walk into the bar, they are kind of coming in there hot, right? Mr. Tyson is going to say to the police, "Call the sheriff. I don't want to talk to y'all. Call the sheriff." And without asking any questions, without asking what's going on, without asking what's happening, without asking Mr. Tyson, "Are you okay? Do you need help?" These officers instantly become physically confrontational with him and begin trying to arrest him, of which he resists. Now, let me say this. I'm giving y'all all this context before I show you the clip because this is important shit that you need to know, okay? So, there's a lot of media reports circulating that Franklin Tyson himself was a convicted felon. That is accurate. In fact, Franklin Tyson had just come home 12 days before he was murdered by police, okay? Would you like to know what Franklin Tyson was in jail for? Why was he in the Ohio Department of Corrections? Well, in 2000, he was convicted of kidnapping, burglary, theft, and failure to comply. He was sentenced to 24 years in prison. He went into jail in the year 2000, and he just came home April of 2024. Frank Tyson did every fucking day of that 24 years. And when I read that, I was furious about that. Because number one, how many of these killer cops that we see never get convicted, never get charged, never go to jail, none of that for outright murdering residents, right? Flagrantly. But then I think about the shit that we cover here on this channel. How many of these sex offenders, how many of these abusers go to jail, get lightweight sentences, and come out and do other terrible shit, or they get their sentences reduced? Frank Tyson didn't have any charges pertaining to violence. I didn't hear no guns. I didn't hear no assault. He didn't have any sexually violent charges. I didn't hear no rape. I didn't hear no burglary, theft, failure to comply, and kidnapping. And to be clear, kidnapping is a very serious charge. But at the same time, if you simply prevent someone from leaving a premises, if you stand in front of the door and say you can't leave, that's kidnapping. And to be clear, I do not know the specific circumstances surrounding the crimes that Frank Tyson was convicted for, but I do know those that are convicted of violent crimes and crimes involving sexual violence usually do not do 24 whole years. So I was disgusted for this man that he had to do the whole 24 years for something not involving a gun and not involving sexual violence. I just wanted to put that out there before we see this clip. So you can understand why somebody in his situation who had just got out of jail 12 days ago, who had done the whole 24 years for his burglary, theft, kidnapping, and failure to comply. He did the whole 24 years. So you can understand why this man in particular did not want to talk to the fucking cops. And it was his right not to do so. But the problem is, in America, Black people do not have rights. And that's evident. So if we could, you guys, we are not going to see all of it. And Will, I might actually ask you to stop it at a certain point. But I wanted you guys to see the encounter and how quick, how fast. We've seen that again on this platform time and time again. All of a sudden, 5 seconds, you don't have your hands up. The police is drawing down on you, shooting you for failure to comply in 5 seconds, 30 seconds, not even 30. So just note the amount of time that transpires between when these police first encounter Frank Tyson to the time that they start to put him on the ground and you can hear him say, "I can't breathe." Let's take a look.
No, we're going outside. We're going outside. No, you ain't killing me. You ain't killing me tonight. You ain't killing me. No, you guys are killing me. They're on it. They're trying to kill me. 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 Go on the sheriff. 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 They're trying to kill me. Go on the sheriff. Go on the sheriff. They're going to kill me. They're going to kill me. They're going to kill me. You're going to get sprayed. I don't get close here. You're going to get sprayed. Don't spray. Call the sheriff. Don't spray. Call the sheriff. They're going to kill me. Get over me. Okay? Calm down. Calm down. Okay. Morning, custody. Morning, custody. 2029. Stop fighting. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. I can't. Get on my neck. Fastest door's right there. I'll be glad to open it for you. Okay. I can't breathe. You're fine.
Man who has, it looks what, 3 officers at least on him says he can't breathe. And this fucking pig tells him, "Oh, you're fine. You're fine." They threaten to pepper spray him. They also tell him to shut the fuck up. The entire video transpires with Mr. Tyson getting handcuffed, going motionless, and then going silent. But in the meantime, while Mr. Tyson, who is obviously in need of medical attention, these police stand around and have conversations with some of the bar patrons. One bar patron says, "Yeah, I always wanted to see a bar fight, but I didn't know I was going to see one today." Well, actually, what you saw was a lynching happen right in front of your face, like your grandparents used to, like your great grandparents used to. Black folks absolutely got lynched in Ohio. Shoot, we can name several modern day lynchings in Ohio. Tamir Rice, Micaiah Bryant, John Crawford II. There's a list of Black people in Ohio who have died recently at the hands of police or in recent years at the hands of police. There's some other things you need to know about Frank Tyson. Frank Tyson was completely unarmed during that encounter. Frank Tyson, again, unarmed during that encounter. Frank Tyson also not being physically combative with any of the bar patrons inside. I'm very curious why the police came in so fucking hot when he's literally standing there at the bar, not doing anything. I don't hear him being loud. I don't hear or see him engaged like he's attempted to be combative with any other people in that space. He's just standing there. So all of a sudden, at the urging of, I assume, this white woman, you need to come get him out of here. Oh, well, all of a sudden, Imperial Wizard mode activated. Yeah, okay, there's this darky. Let's go get him out of here. They don't ask him any questions, y'all. That is what kills me. And when we talk about, and pardon me, not us, we want to see the police as an institution completely done away with. But when reformists and even pro-police people suggest that just better training is needed, you cannot train racist folks into viewing non-white people as human. And even when the cop themselves is Black, they still dehumanize Black people. It is something inherent to the profession. It might stem from the fact that modern day policing comes directly out of slave catching. It was only one group who was the slaves, right? So automatically, like the white police go immediately into that slave catching mode, right? And when I mean, just to see all the white folks standing around, it really took me back 150 years, 200 years in this country, where we see the pictures today of lynchings of African folks, Black people in this country, hanging from trees, and white folks, white families milling about, eating their picnics, coming to see the nigger hanging. Like, that was routine entertainment and family fun activities for white America in this country. And to be clear, for anybody that wants to challenge that, and everyone who wants to say, well, racism happened both ways, when? In the especially in the brutality, since whenever did Black folks get their families, get the whole community together, go and kidnap some white person and hang them in public, and the family just viewed it as a day at the park? That should never happen. That should only happen one fucking way, okay? And overwhelmingly, it continues to happen one way today. And apparently in Canton, Ohio, this is absolutely not new. I stumbled across a video from a young activist, and her name is Destiny. I will come back and give y'all her name. Well, at least how she has it on social media. However people present on, their public social medias, I don't have a problem sharing that. But her name is Destiny. And this clip that we're about to see, this is a TikTok from 2022. And she's sort of breaking down a handful of police murders of Black people that happened in Canton, sort of in relative quick succession, right? And we're even going to see some clips from a Canton City Council meeting, which, again, the optics, it seems to be a very white place and not friendly. Not friendly to the Black community. It does not appear to be that way at all. But I thought this was an interesting piece of insight from a local pertaining to the way that the police deal with their community. And let me say this, guys, from Canton, Ohio to Canton, Baltimore, from California to Massachusetts to Rhode Island to Kentucky to New Mexico to the police treat Black and brown people the same across the country. So I even hate to sort of isolate certain states as look at how terrible these motherfuckers are. No, All of these motherfucking states is terrible. Ain't none better than the other. The red states, the blue states, the purple states, the police and the cops ain't shit in none of these fucking places. Okay, so let's just be clear. But in Ohio, in Canton, oh, apparently the police have been just absolutely wilding out. Let's take a listen to this young activist sort of break it down for us.
Y'all, I truly didn't think that after last week's Canton City Council meeting, anything crazier could have happened. If you missed it, 3 city council members got up and walked out mid-meeting in solidarity with James Williams' family. If you're really new here and have no idea what I'm talking about, James Williams was a Black man that was shot and killed in his own backyard on New Year's Day earlier this year by Officer Robert Huber from the Canton Police Department. He was shot through privacy fence without warning. Well, not only did the city council president start the meeting by berating all of us about decorum and professionalism, as if they didn't let a killer cop back to work 16 days after murdering someone, but they also kicked a Black woman out of the meeting for whispering to her sister in the audience. Mind you, this wasn't just any citizen. This woman is the sister of Daryl Ross, who was shot 27 times and killed by the Canton Police Department in 2008. While he was getting out of the shower. Just watch how ridiculous this is.
Saying nothing speaks volumes. Doing nothing says even more. When public officials like Mayor Tunde
Miss Bruce, I'm going to ask you to leave.
Me?
Yeah, I'm asking you to leave right now.
For talking to my sister?
I made it very clear.
Oh,
I made it very, very clear that nobody is speaking in the audience during public speaks.
Did anybody hear me?
So now I'm asking you to leave.
So y'all see what they're doing. Basically, we can't say
I am
anything.
asking
They
you
couldn't
out of
stop us
respect.
the other way, they gonna stop us this way. They don't
I'm
care about
asking
us.
you
I
to
understand,
leave.
I'm leaving, but I'll be back next week and the next. You can't keep me out of a public place. I'm
Look,
in
you are
Texas.
more than welcome to be here.
Oh, I
The rules
will.
were
And I'm
made
gonna keep
for it.
talking.
Is there
I'm gonna
any,
keep talking.
is there anybody else?
They're not gonna give you justice. They're not. They killed my brother and got him butt naked in the shower 28 times. He didn't get justice. They said they were afraid. Yeah. It's not gonna happen, people. You can't know how you're gonna raise this place is ever. Not gonna happen.
Ms. Bruce, please continue. Thank you.
They also dropped low-key threats because the neighboring city of North Canton has also been putting restrictions on freedom of speech at their city council meetings. Some of those restrictions include the possibility of only being able to address city council about any matter 4 times a year, once per quarter, and putting a limit on how many consecutive meetings a resident can speak to city council. Seriously, this cannot be legal. Like, the Ohio Attorney General and the Department of Justice need to come in and investigate these local governments because they're violating the rights of citizens. Meanwhile, the police continue to harass us at every single protest. One of our local civil rights leaders was harassed by the police during a birthday party she was having at her home, where they tried to serve a warrant on someone who wasn't even there, and they attempted to arrest the wrong person. These are things that we have been speaking up about for months, and the Canton City Council continues to ignore us. They have not done anything to address the issues that the community has brought to their attention over the last several years. And there's no incentive for them to do anything about it because the city council members for Canton are not elected officials. They are selected by the mayor, which is some complete bullshit. City council seats are supposed to be elected officials by the people. They have no incentive at all to answer to the people because they're not the ones that are putting them in office. The mayor and the police department and the city continues to fail the people of this city. And I will continue to use my platform to draw attention to this injustice.
Destiny Stark, ladies and gentlemen, and non-binary people, Canton, Ohio. And if the youths are talking like that, kids, I think we're going to be all right. Yeah. And the crazy thing is, I'm sure everyone who lives in this country can probably run through a list of people lynched by the police or died in custody in your city, in your state, and it is likely getting the same kind of treatment, repression. When people come out in protest, they get suppressed, oppressed by the police, the harassment of activists. You guys, everyone says the fascism is here, and let us continue to count the many ways in which fascism is not subtly cueing us to its presence, to its arrival here in the bastion of democracy. That's why we always have to laugh at these stupid fucking liberals when they talk about saving democracy. I'm sorry. Frank Tyson did his entire stretch. He did every goddamn day of that 24 years, right? And got murdered at the hands of the police not even 2 weeks after coming home. Is that democracy for him? Is that democracy for his family? And to be clear, I would like to know why nobody offered Mr. Tyson any medical attention. If it indeed was him who was behind the wheel of the vehicle that struck the utility pole, I would imagine maybe he might have some head injuries, some sort of damage. He may be disoriented. Like there could have been a myriad of legitimate medical things going on with him, right? And he was also entitled to not to want to talk to the police. And the way that those bar patrons just stood around and watched him basically get lynched. I know I say I hope it haunts them at night. I hope it stains their conscience. But much in the ways, like their great grandparents who went to the motherfucking lynching on Sunday afternoon with a picnic basket, the motherfuckers was not bothered at all by their conscience. Okay, whoever the fuck called the police on Tamir Rice, not bothered by their conscience. Whoever the fuck called the police on John Crawford II, not bothered at all. Because that's just the nature of racism, to dehumanize, and anti-blackness specifically, to dehumanize Black life. And the cops did it, and those bar patrons did it, and a special fuck you to all involved. Okay. So the cops, of course, 2 police officers have been placed on paid administrative duty pending an investigation. This is Ohio, so don't expect much. This is America. Expect even less. Expect even less. I do think that Ben Crump is on the situation. So, he is a personal injury lawyer for anyone who might be confused. I know people seem to think that Ben Crump is a civil rights attorney. No, I know everybody seems to think that Ben Crump is John Cochran out this bitch. He is a personal injury attorney, okay? He ain't changing no policies. What he is doing is getting some money for the families, which in this day and age, I suppose it is the best that we can expect from this system. But that's the problem. We will never get justice for the system. This is all the more reason that the system must go. All the more reason to not only turn the system upside down, but to literally burn that bitch to the ground. Because those that are entrusted by the state with powers over us will never see us, nor will they never respect us as humans or even as equals. So the whole issue of reform, or the police need better training. I can't train you to see me as a person. Okay, like you either have that in you or you fucking don't. And I honestly think that some of these police academy screening tests, they probably test for that. And if you come out testing like a psychopath, like an outright racist sociopath, oh well, come on in, Johnnie. You're perfect. You're perfect for the cadet program. Let's get you right on in here because you hate niggas, and that is a requisite. Shh, we don't tell people that. We don't put that on the application anymore. But wink, wink, wink. We want to send condolences, solidarity to Franklin Tyson. We want to say continued solidarity with the communities in Canton, Ohio, the Black communities, the whole Ohio, actually. My God. The whole country is racist, everybody. Make no mistake about it. The entire country is dangerous for Black people. Make no mistake about it, from either its other, citizens or from the state itself. But there are states that just feel more dangerous. You know what I'm saying? Ohio, with all the big names, I hate to say it like that, but all the well-known names to have been murdered by police in that state, it feels more tenuous. But we want to say love always to the folks of Ohio, and keep fighting and keep resisting against this fascist system. Let me take a break, y'all. I saw that story and I'm like, yo, Yo, and I didn't even get into the fact, and because it almost really doesn't even need to be said. You can hear Mr. Franklin. I keep saying Mr. Franklin. Pardon me, Mr. Tyson, Franklin Tyson, Frank Tyson. You hear Mr. Tyson repeatedly say that he can't breathe. Or who does that sound like? And you would think that these fucking pigs would have learned a lesson with not only Derek Chauvin being convicted and in jail, but almost getting killed. They done tried to kill Chauvin a couple times. I said, y'all is in there fucking up. Y'all keep missing. Well, what's the problem? What's the problem? But you would think the pigs would maybe be a little have their ears tuned in to someone saying I can't breathe. Oh wait, they can't breathe. Let them up. Let them up. Let them up. Nope, that shit didn't even register. That shit wasn't even a fucking thought. And my guess is when the autopsy comes back, Mr. Tyson's cause of death is going to be homicide, and it's going to be positional asphyxiation, which is what it's called when these cops literally suffocate you to death while your hands are behind your back and you are on your chest. You are flat on your chest, on your face, and your lungs and rib cage are literally being crushed. Positional asphyxiation is how a lot of people end up dying at the hands of the police when they are not outright shot. Outrageous. I can't.